Ukraine is now using British Storm Shadow missiles against Russia.
December 25th, 2025, Christmas Day. While Russian families gathered for holiday meals, Ukrainian Su-24 bombers launched British Storm Shadow missiles 300 kilometers inside Russia, striking the Novoshakhtinsk oil refinery in Rostov Oblast, triggering massive fires that illuminated the pre-dawn sky. According to United 24 media, Ukrainian forces successfully struck the refinery, one of southern Russia's largest fuel suppliers, providing diesel and aviation kerosene directly to Russian military operations. It was Ukraine's sixth attack on this specific facility. Russia's air defenses never intercepted the missiles. The timing sent Putin a message. Ukraine strikes when and where it chooses, regardless of Western holidays or Russian expectations. But here's what surprised NATO military planners. Ukraine wasn't using Storm Shadows the way Britain intended. According to leaked German Luftwaffe recordings from March 2024, UK forces provided Ukraine targeting data, mission planning, and operational security for strikes up to 150 miles behind Russian lines, strategic targets like command posts, ammunition depots, communication hubs. Ukraine innovated beyond the manual. According to analysis, Ukrainian forces coordinate Storm Shadows with domestically produced drones in combined strikes hitting multiple facilities simultaneously. Oil refineries, gas processing plants, ports, military air bases, creating cascading economic and logistical crises Russia cannot adequately defend against. If you want to see how Ukraine transformed British cruise missiles into economic warfare weapons that NATO never anticipated, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This is asymmetric tactical genius forcing alliance doctrine rewrites. The December 25th operation demonstrated Ukrainian tactical sophistication. According to verified reporting, Ukrainian forces struck 3 separate targets simultaneously: Novoshakhtinsk oil refinery, Rostov Oblast. Storm Shadow cruise missiles hit the facility at approximately 155 miles from Ukrainian-controlled territory, well within the missile's 250-kilometer maximum range. The refinery processes 5.6 million tons of crude annually, 110,000 barrels daily, representing 2.2% of Russia's total crude processing capacity. Tank farm capacity exceeds 210,000 cubic meters, key part of enemy fuel infrastructure, according to Defense Express. Multiple explosions confirmed direct hits. Fires burned for hours. Orenburg gas processing plant. Ukrainian long-range drones struck Russia's largest gas processing facility 1,050 miles east of Kyiv, far beyond Storm Shadow's range, proving Ukraine maintains multiple strike capabilities simultaneously. The plant processes gas from Kazakhstan's Karachaganak field, meaning strikes disrupt not just Russian operations, but international energy flows. Orenburg Governor Evgeny Solntsev confirmed minor damage to industrial facility, Russian minimization language for significant strikes they cannot admit publicly. Temryuk Seaport, Krasnodar Krai. SBU Alpha Special Operations drones hit oil product tanks, igniting fires covering 2,000 square meters. The port handles Shadow Fleet tankers, shipments evading Western sanctions. Ukraine targeted both production, Novoshakhtinsk refinery, and export, Temryuk port, simultaneously, strangling Russian oil revenue at both ends. The coordination required precise timing. Storm Shadows travel subsonic, approximately 550 miles per hour, taking 15 to 20 minutes to reach Rostov targets. Drones fly slower but launch earlier, arriving at Orenburg and Temryuk simultaneously with Storm Shadow impacts at Novoshakhtinsk. Russian air defenses faced simultaneous threats across 1,000-plus kilometer span. Impossible to concentrate defense when attacks occur in Rostov, Orenburg, and Krasnodar simultaneously. Think about the operational implications. Ukrainian planners selected targets, calculated flight times, coordinated Su-24 launches with drone deployments, ensured aircraft avoided Russian air defense zones, synchronized impacts for maximum confusion, all while maintaining operational security, preventing Russian preemptive countermeasures. Here's where Ukrainian innovation surprised NATO. Storm Shadows were designed for high-value military targets, command posts, air defense systems, ammunition depots. Ukraine recognized attacking oil infrastructure achieves strategic effects Western militaries overlook. According to modern diplomacy analysis, targeting energy infrastructure directly attacks Russia's war funding capacity. Oil and gas exports remain the Kremlin's primary source of revenue for military operations. The mathematics devastate Russia's budget. Novoshakhtinsk refinery capacity, 110,000 barrels per day. Typical crude oil price, $70 to $80 per barrel. Daily production value, $7.7 to $8.8 million. Weekly downtime costs, $54 to $62 million in lost production. Each Storm Shadow costs approximately $1 to $1.5 million. Destroying a refinery causing weeks of downtime generates $50+ million losses, 30 to 50 to 1 return on investment. But the strategic impact exceeds immediate costs. According to analysis, reconstruction costs. Modern refineries require hundreds of millions repairing damaged distillation units, cooling systems, storage tanks. Money spent rebuilding cannot fund offensive operations. Military fuel shortages. Russian forces require diesel and jet fuel. Refinery damage doesn't just reduce export revenue, threatens operational capability if fuel production drops below military consumption. Insurance premiums. After repeated Ukrainian strikes, insurance companies raise premiums for Russian energy facilities or refuse coverage entirely, increasing operational costs. Investment flight. International companies and domestic investors avoid facilities Ukraine demonstrates it can hit reliably. Long-term economic damage extending beyond immediate strike impacts. The UK supplied Storm Shadows, expecting Ukraine would eliminate Russian command centers, ammunition depots, air defense systems, traditional high-value military targets. Ukraine calculated that destroying Russian revenue generation and military logistics achieves more strategic effect than killing generals or blowing up warehouses. NATO military doctrine doesn't prioritize economic warfare, but Ukrainian necessity created innovation alliance members now study. This represents systematic targeting doctrine. March 2024, initial drone strike damages processing units. Subsequent strikes, 2024, multiple attacks maintaining pressure during reconstruction. December 25, 2025, Storm Shadow escalation. Precision cruise missiles ensure penetration despite upgraded Russian air defenses. The persistent pressure creates economic nightmare. Russia invests millions rebuilding. Ukraine strikes again. Russia rebuilds. Ukraine strikes again. The cycle bleeds reconstruction budgets while preventing full operational restoration. According to reporting, damaged refineries take months to restore full capacity, meaning Novoshakhtinsk operated at reduced output for nearly 2 years through repeated Ukrainian attacks. Compare this to traditional military targeting. Destroy ammunition depot once, it's gone. Destroy command post, kill the commanders. But refineries are strategic assets Russia must repair, creating opportunities for repeated strikes that compound damage over time. Ukrainian forces identified this vulnerability and exploited it ruthlessly. The tactical innovation required weapons. According to Army recognition, MBDA has resumed production of the SCALP and Storm Shadow cruise missiles in July 2025 after a 15-year pause. the UK-France partnership restarted manufacturing specifically for Ukraine, acknowledging that Britain's existing stockpiles were nearly depleted by early 2025, according to Ukrainian sources. The production timeline reveals escalation. 2023 to early 2025, Ukraine received storm shadows from existing British/French stockpiles. Early 2025, supplies nearly depleted. July 10, 2025, MBDA announces production resumption. Initial rate, 10 to 20 missiles monthly. 2026 target, 50 missiles monthly equals 600 annually. The restart represented strategic decision by UK-France. According to reporting, production lines had been cold for a decade or more, meaning engineers needed to rebuild manufacturing processes, retrain workers, source components from suppliers who'd moved to other products. The investment signals long-term commitment. If Britain and France intended only short-term Ukraine support, they wouldn't invest millions restarting production for decades-old missile designs. But the restart also revealed Western industrial weakness. According to defense analysts, Britain and France combined struggle producing 50 missiles monthly, while Russia manufactures hundreds of Shaheds. The West's peacetime procurement model, small batch orders, years-long production cycles, high per-unit costs, cannot match wartime mass production. Ukraine's tactical genius with storm shadows highlights Western industrial gaps. Brilliant weapons, insufficient quantities. What NATO didn't anticipate: Ukraine's strike range expansion. According to initial UK supply agreements, Storm Shadows target facilities up to 150 miles behind Russian lines, sufficient to hit tactical targets in occupied Donbass and Crimea. By December 2025, Ukrainian forces coordinate Storm Shadows' 250 kilometers range with indigenous drones hitting Orenburg, 1,050 miles, demonstrating multi-layered strike capabilities NATO lacks. The evolution timeline. 2023, Storm Shadows hit Crimean targets, air defense, naval facilities. 2024, strikes expand to Rostov Oblast refineries. 2025, coordination with 1,000-plus mile drone strikes on strategic facilities deep inside Russia. This creates Russian defensive nightmare: defend everywhere simultaneously or accept vulnerabilities Ukraine exploits. According to analysis, Russian S-400 and Pantsir S-1 air defenses prioritize protecting Moscow, St. Petersburg, strategic bomber bases. But Ukraine targets economic infrastructure, refineries, ports, gas plants, scattered across thousands of kilometers. Russia cannot adequately defend all facilities. The December 25th strikes proved the concept. Storm Shadows hit Rostov, 300 kilometers. Drones hit Orenburg, 1,700 kilometers, and Temryuk, Krasnodar, forcing Russian air defense to respond in 3 regions simultaneously. The complexity overwhelms centralized command systems, requiring approval from Moscow for engagement decisions. Ukraine's Storm Shadow tactics surprised NATO because Ukrainian forces innovated beyond original weapons design parameters. British defense planners envisioned Storm Shadows destroying Russian command posts and ammunition depots, traditional high-value military targets. Ukraine recognized that destroying oil refineries funding Russia's war machine achieves greater strategic effect than killing generals. The Christmas Day 2025 strikes proved the concept. Novoshakhtinsk refinery, 6th attack, $50+ million losses. Orenburg gas plant, 1,050 miles deep, international implications. Temryuk port, shadow fleet disruption. Coordinated simultaneously using storm shadows and indigenous drones, creating indefensible complexity. The production restart, July 2025, 50 per month by 2026, signals UK-France long-term commitment despite initially nearly depleted stockpiles. And Ukraine's systematic targeting doctrine, hitting same facilities repeatedly, preventing reconstruction, bleeding Russian budgets, demonstrates tactical patience Western militaries often lack. NATO studies Ukrainian Storm Shadow employment because alliance doctrine doesn't emphasize economic warfare. Western military planners target military capabilities. Ukrainian planners, fighting existential war with limited resources, target revenue sources funding enemy operations. The genius is recognizing that $1.5 million missile destroying $50+ million refinery capacity achieves better strategic return than any comparable military strike. Russia responds by intensifying strikes on Ukrainian civilians. But Ukraine just demonstrated it can hit Russian economic infrastructure Christmas Day, regardless of Russian retaliation. That's not just tactics. That's strategic genius NATO never anticipated needing. Should NATO adopt Ukraine's economic warfare targeting doctrine? Share thoughts. Subscribe for military innovation. Thanks for watching.